Live here from China. Hello, everybody. Rolling into this amazing next 60 minutes of tips, strategies, nuggets, and insights live from the ground in China. Athena, how are you feeling about this? Got
Oh
everyone
my,
rolling in here.
the amount of excitement and energy and wins that have been happening in China are unreal. So I'm really excited to hear more about it, get all the insights skinny. And it's so good to see you guys. Georgie, Kian and Lyden's here.
Yeah, so Georgie, you just got back from China, right?
I did, yes, very early yesterday morning.
Amazing.
So,
And Lyden and Kian, let's just jump straight into it, man. Let's talk about what's been happening over the course of the last week or so in China Magic at the Canton Fair. Let's reel off some immediate wins that have been achieved in China and really just kind of give your perspective of what it is that you're observing this trip and any insights that have immediately come out of it so far.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a hectic trip so far. We've had loads of wins. We've just had a big networking night here. We had about 100 people here, so it's been a lot of fun. We've been sharing wins there. A couple of the things that we've managed to achieve in the last couple of days. I was speaking to you about it, Dan, last night. We were struggling to get payment terms with one of our suppliers. They came over to the hotel, and we sat down and spoke to them. We looked at the new innovative products that they brought us, a new material that isn't out yet. We've got exclusivity deals on that. We spoke about payment terms, and we managed to push those payment terms to 90 days. So that's freed up around $600,000 in cash flow for us to redeploy into other products or order more products, make sure we don't run out of stock. So we're excited about kicking that one off. On top of that, and Georgie, you'll remember that when we were posting photos of me playing football, and you were talking about my lucky number being 7. The supplier had done his research on me. He knew exactly what China Magic was, and he said, "I know your lucky number's 7, so I'm going to give you a 7% discount on all goods as well." So that alone works. It works in about $150,000 in profit in the next 12 months. So that was a huge win. And that was a big win from yesterday.
Amazing. I look forward to hearing more about the members' wins and kind of what's going on there in the room in a second. Kian,
For sure, we're gonna bring something to speak to you in a bit.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, Kian, what's your perspective this time around, man? You've got lots of relationships in the fair. You know a bunch of the suppliers. You've been visiting for decades at this point. Kind of, yeah. What's the lay of the land right now?
Yeah, what's up, guys? How's it going? So this is my 25th or 26th Canton Fair, and the hunger and the energy from the suppliers is like back better than ever. And the suppliers, more of like a respect thing, really appreciate us just being here in person. And the in-person conversations that we've had, there's been so many members which are here on the trip, which have achieved like crazy discounts, like 40%, 50%. We're finding new items. We're getting exclusivity on these new items. So just the wins that we've been able to achieve with the suppliers' support, just because they really value and cherish the effort of someone coming, because it's so easy for anyone to do business online. Go on Alibaba.com, talk to a supplier. The supplier doesn't really know you, but coming here, not many people come here on holiday. They come here to do business, so they know that you're a very serious buyer. And just being able to see these guys eye to eye, build relationships. We invite them over to the hotel. We have meetings here. Phase 2 finished like 3 days ago, and then we had 2-3 days of factory visits, and the results have just been like mind-blowing. A lot of people just learning how their products are made, becoming better product developers, launching new products, getting factories which have the best certifications, the best machinery, and then we're all equipped for phase 3 as well, because there's a lot of great e-commerce categories coming up in phase 3. We've got pets, toys, baby, sport, travel, outdoor. So there's so many new product ideas which are going to be revealed to us from manufacturers, as well as a lot of people have got their brand new ideas and innovations. But yeah, just in general, the feeling from the suppliers has been massively like a respect, to cherish, loving having us here. So everyone's felt just the energy of just being on the ground here. So it's been so much fun.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that I've really noticed this time, is that we're obviously big on product innovation and differentiation and standing out from the crowd in Titan. But what I found is that the factories are really pushing and having in-house designers and engineers and coming with very innovative products. We've got a lot of exclusivity deals off the back of it as well. But yeah, more so than ever, I think that the suppliers that are at the fair, they're really putting the effort in to come with innovative ideas. From the past, it seems to be a lot more advanced this time around. So it's been really exciting.
Yeah, it's really good to hear. Now, guys, we're going to jump in a second and chat with some members. I'm also interested, Kian and Lyden, to hear about kind of the levels of conversations that you've been having with members and helping members in those negotiations. For all of our viewers here jumping on this live who want to pick up kind of the latest product trends, maybe hear about how some of the negotiations have gone, the sentiment in China, as Kian was talking about, definitely stick around for around the next hour or so, because we're going to be jumping into the room here in a second with Lyden and Kian, and we're going to be talking to real members of China Magic attendees that are live on the ground in China Magic 9 right now and hearing kind of their thoughts toward what's happening in China, the suppliers, the product trends, the cost savings. And then for those of you that maybe been considering taking that next step in your business and visiting China and visiting your factories and your existing relationships, as well as looking for how to kind of get that edge on Amazon, find more margin in your products, find more margin to be able to compete better in advertising, free up some cash flow by securing better payment terms, definitely stick around to the end of this call, because at the end, Athena and I are going to be walking you through a very, very, very special offer and a very time-sensitive offer for how you can join us in the upcoming trip in October later this year. But Athena, what are your thoughts hearing this? I want to go into kind of hearing how Kian and that and what level of conversation, but what are your thoughts in terms of any questions for the guys before we jump into the room?
I think it's more like I want people to feel it. Like I want people to experience what it's like to go into like a booth with Kian and Lyden. Like talk about what you guys have actually been doing in terms of negotiating. Because what I remember from you guys is that you would go in and in real time ask the right questions, and that way the supplier immediately knew that you guys were pros, right? So I'd love to hear like what are some of those questions that you ask? What is like the actual feeling of being in a booth with the likes of Lyden and Kian?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Just to interject there, there's one thing about going to China and going to the Canton Fair, and then there's the next layer is going there with a whole team of people that have spent 10, 20, even 30 years in some of our team that are on the ground with China and in China with Lyden and Kian, and all the experience that can be handed off and in accelerating your journey, right? So yeah, Kian, Lyden, to Athena's question, like, what are the conversations that you guys are having with them, with China Magic members and attendees, with factories, and kind of what are the results that you've seen?
Yeah, so just I'm going to let you take it, because we've got a booklet that we give to everybody with a list of questions to keep people going that Kian's put together, and I won't take credit for. But no, so when we've been going into the booth, we've been going in as a team, and we've got Charles here with his camera as well. They really feel like we're a big company and we're coming in. It's just set the whole mood off really well, and they've been giving us a lot of attention. We're able to just get payment terms straight off the bat and really great pricing and have really, really good conversations, and they're sort of coming to us. So going in a bit of a group has worked really well for us. But in terms of the questions themselves, I'll hand over to the man himself, and he can talk about some of those.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm a great believer in the quality of the questions determine the quality of your results. So prior to going into any of these booths, we make sure everyone's well prepared with the types of questions that they should be asking, and finding out basically how many years these factories have been in business, which markets they supply, within those markets, who are the biggest customers, what certifications do they have on the product, what audits do they have on the factory. So we have like so much information that we can find out about the factory that we're dealing with and for ourselves. And then Lyden and I also go into the booths as well and act as support, that if we're needed, that we can jump in and help out with any particular questions that the suppliers may have about us and our companies, but we can also qualify the suppliers in the best way and also learn from their innovations as well, because while we develop products, so do a lot of suppliers as well. And a lot of these products are kind of kept hidden in the back, but they only reveal these products once they feel they have a serious customer on their hands. But by having these good quality questions, the suppliers take it very, very offering options as well. And one final thing is that like the Canton Fair is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and this is the largest I've ever seen it. Last year they introduced a Hall D, because there was only areas A, B, and C, and then last year came Hall D and it was half empty. Now it's completely full. So there's actually a lot more categories of product, and there's actually a lot more suppliers here as well. More suppliers means more competition means lower prices, and the way these guys stand out is by offering new products. So you can really get that first mover advantage and see the latest products and move with speed and act fast, so you can launch these products. And a lot of people which are here on this trip are seeing products which they're going to be launching in Q4 to really maximize their sales and their time from being here. So there's a lot of like quick wins that you can have just by being on the ground here and asking the right questions.
And I saw Miko, one of our Titan members that's out on the China trip.
Yeah,
and
I've got Miko ready to go.
Yeah, Miko's been going to China a few times, right, for her business before, but she's always gone alone. And I saw Miko. Hey, Miko.
Right there.
There you go.
Oh my
Um,
God.
So Miko, I saw a post from you on social. You've been going out to China on your own. This isn't your first trip over to China for business, but I saw that with the group and with the help of Lyden and the team, Matt, Lois, Rachel, etc., helping you negotiate, you were able to pick up a pretty significant win, right, this week. Would you share that win, and
Yes.
then also just thoughts around how maybe it's been different for you this time going with China Magic versus kind of attempting it on your own previously?
Yes, this past week has been probably the highest effective week for me for my entire career life. I went in the first day, and it's not even my phase yet. Like, beauty is in phase three, but I just stumbled upon a supplier, and they are in the advertising booth in the hallway, and they are happen to be the biggest skincare factory around here. And of
Oh,
course,
amazing.
it feels like it feels like kids in the candy shop. So pretty much, I went from validate their entire catalog the first night in the hotel, and I come up with 8 or 10 product that's validate. I went back in the second day and start talking about pricing, how we can differentiate it, and I found a material that's really visually different, and the size, the product can be really different on the niche I want to go to. And I went from um, product validate to keyword research to concept to branding, and then negotiate pricing, MOQ, come back, meet with the leader, and then do my projection, annual projection, vendor negotiation. And then today I went to the factory visit, shake hand with the boss, and got a whole bunch of sample, get the material that I wanted, and it all happened within this past week. And tomorrow is when the phase three start. Yes, so I got so much
So you're not.
accomplished already.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're only just getting going. I mean, Athena, Georgia, that's amazing, isn't it? So in Titan, we have very, very detailed and specific validation
yes,
criteria for what a successful product looks like on Amazon. We're big on visual differentiation. We're not into
yes,
buying and badging. And then you've been able to condense all of that work as well as taking a
yes,
structured approach to negotiating pricing and terms in what, a matter of 2 or 3 days, right?
yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes, yes. For those who are not watching, they're not might not being Titan. All the things I kind of say, like from years of experience in a niche and years of time in Titan, and excellent team expert helping me, and that's how we can achieve with the small time matter of 5 days. Yeah.
yeah,
That is
that's
Yes.
so
awesome.
incredible.
Yes,
Incredible.
and you asked what is the difference between walking to a trade show, coming to a foreign country alone versus having a team of people. It's an energy, and quite significantly, like when we go in the booth, people are really curious of who we are. There's camera around. There's like everybody's like we just have like 5, 6 people, and then and you just feel like people really curious about us, and they want to do business with us. They find out who we are, and then like, I speak Mandarin, so like some factory owner that cannot speak English, and so they're just in the background asking me a whole bunch of questions, and then after like we chat with them, they're just like point the booth. Okay, I can offer you this exclusive, this one, that. So I think that's the main thing. Like when you come in the group, you get some special deal, and people see your energy and see you guys are professional, you guys come in the team, and they want your business. So that's the
Yeah,
difference.
I love
Yes.
that's
that. So you ended up finding about 8 products that you can launch. Is that right?
Yes, yes,
8 products.
yes.
And then what kind of cash terms are you getting on those 8 products?
What did I go in negotiate, and I actually presented 4 that um I can commit to order, but my
Mhm.
presentation with the terms that I am proposing, I can order up to 8. And
wow.
so I propose 30/70. It's like a before, and this is what I can commit, and 10/90 after. I think they're gonna come back to tell me it's doable, and but I think it for their size, which they're like I said, they're very big, and I think that they wanted to see when we place 1 or 2 order, and I really think it can happen. Yes.
Yeah, amazing. So you're really opening those doors and building those relationships, right?
Yes, yes, oh my God, yes. Today I see the boss, we shake hands, and I feel like in this culture, it's all face to face. When they see you sincerity, you go visit their factory, they see your professionalism, and you come in with a presentation, prepare, projection. Not a lot of customers do that. So automatically they place you as a favor, and then hear your background and what you can do, and then you just kind of put the plan together. They're just as excited as you.
I
Yes.
love that.
Amazing.
Love that
Miko,
info.
thank you so much for sharing that. And
No problem.
for everyone,
Incredible stuff. Let me try and turn this. Does that landscape, does that work or not?
yeah, there you go. That's better, dude. And the thing
Is
that
that better?
for everyone listening in. So Mika was talking about the way in which we present the projections and ask for terms. This is a much more structured, more professional approach to securing pricing with better margins and also better payment terms to allow us to use our dollars, our capital, more effectively across more products, so that we're not working on the same kind of 30-70 terms, and we're not having to wait for one product to get profitable to move on to the next, and we're not paying the same as everyone else. So everyone's competing with these really thin, compressed margins. By being on the ground in China, we're able just to achieve much bigger margins through better pricing and better payment terms that allows us to compound growth in the business so much faster. Now, Athena, I know before we transition over, I know you were going to make a point there, and then Lyde, have you got someone else there for us?
Yeah, so it's perfect timing. If you want to talk about pricing, then Jen got off the plane, went straight to the fair, and managed to get some amazing pricing. So, yeah, Jen, let me hold the phone for you.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Jen.
Let's move over
So,
here a
Jen,
bit because there's a bit of background noise with the thing. Let me see if we can get over here.
there you go. It's like a live news broadcast.
Hi,
Yeah, hey,
Jen. Hey, sweetie. So tell us the story of what happened.
Okay, so I went to see my supplier. I've actually met them before in China. So the original price I was getting from them was $350, and I've been able to get it down a little bit year after year. But when I went in unexpectedly, they gave me a price of $145, which is way
wow.
lower than what I expected. So I actually went in to get payment terms, and after that, I was like too embarrassed to ask for payment terms because they gave me such a good price. So then when I came back, Lyden gave me such
I
a
gave
hard
you shit. You
time.
could say shit. I gave you shit.
And he was like, maybe you can go back the next day for the payment terms.
And was you
So
able to
George
secure the
and
payment terms?
Lyden came, and we got, what was it, 45 days after shipping. So that was a good. And then we went to another booth, which I've never ordered from before. And I was like kind of trying to negotiate with them. And then suddenly Luke and Matt and Lyden showed up. And so having never ordered from them before, I got like the best price I could have imagined. And 120 days terms after shipping
Look
straight
at
off the
you.
bat. So that was really amazing as well.
Wow, Jen. So that
So it was good.
definitely paid for your trip, I'd say, many, many times over.
Yeah, it has.
Can you hear me,
Yes.
Jen? And you
Production
have,
was about.
okay,
Go on,
so
Lyde.
Oh,
There's a
sorry.
bit
Can
of
you
a-
hear us? Okay.
Yeah, you got you.
Now.
Yeah, we're dealing with Chinese internet here,
Yeah,
people.
so Jen and I were quantifying how much that reduction in price was, and it's just one order because it's a seasonal product,
It's
right?
like 20,000 for that order, just only that order. So
Wow.
every order is going to be this 20,000 saving.
oh my God. Okay, so let me just get this straight. You've been to China before. You've worked with that one supplier for many years. You've gotten discounts in the past. You come to China with China Magic. That one conversation paid for itself, 20,000 just in that one conversation. New booth, new supplier, Matt and Lyden at your side. You get the same type of terms. It's just like a formula, and you have these people at your side to be able to help you. Is that right?
Yes, and then every night when you go back, like everyone kind of shares their story either in the group or with each other, and you kind of compare notes. And it's like, well, I'm going to ask for that tomorrow. It kind of gives you more confidence and like lets you know like you're doing kind of like what everyone else is doing, or everyone's kind of like on the same page. So
I love that. And being that you're a significant seller, that you're a multi seven-figure seller, these terms and these different things, these prices, they really create a significant uh, cost savings. And also, not just that, but have you been finding some new products and things that you can launch?
yeah, so with the first supplier, we kind of half developed another product that I had in mind. We kind of got around a size issue with the supplier. It's much easier when you're at the fair because you can like explain with your hands, and if they don't speak good English, instead of going back and days, and then you get the sample and you realize that they still had no clue what you're talking about. Like you can
After
pick,
hundreds of dollars of sample fees, right?
yeah, you can pick stuff up off other stands, and they bring you stuff off from other stands, and you can like kind of work out what you want exactly so quickly compared to being on the internet. And
Yeah, it just accelerates the whole production, the sourcing process, because you're able to explain live that this is what we want to try and achieve. We're trying to get a lower FBA fee because we don't want to go over the 18 inches for FBA. And what we did was manage to sit and work out and show with our hands and draw and say this is how we need to develop the product so that we can fit it in a smaller package so that we're not getting a higher fee. So that would have saved a lot off the CM2 as well.
Love it.
Well done. Well, yeah, well done. That's amazing. So,
Great,
Lloyd,
great.
do you want to go ahead and
Thanks,
share a bit of the room, and then maybe one more kind of let's hear maybe one more. I know there was
Yeah,
a
why don't
few.
we hear from Mr. Matthew? He was with us here.
Hey,
Yay!
Matt. There we go.
So Matt's
Matt.
been diving deep into product development and innovation, and I was just saying before, Matt, that we found that a lot of the suppliers have like designers and engineers, and they're really going hard on the innovation piece. So that's what we're focused on, but they're really keeping up with us on that side, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been desperately trying to avoid Me Too things this week and buying off the shelf at Canton. And we've had people talking to suppliers about getting custom molds done, suppliers sharing the costs, suppliers providing the product design know-how. They're really keen out here this year, Dan, to get our business and to work with us. It's amazing. Very different to a year ago when I was here last. Really looking for our business and long-term partnerships and good, healthy MOQs. So, yeah, it's a really good opportunity for us to do some creative, innovative stuff with products and partner up with these factories. We had Michaela with us as well with a cool home and kitchen type product that she wanted to change for a mold. We brought Lois in from our Titan Ignite team, and she had some wicked ideas for working with different materials, bringing the mold cost down from 20,000 to about 3,000, which was
Wow.
a huge saving. And then from that, going with her back to the booth again, and the booth agreed to split the cost of the mold, do a lot of the development work, and also shave an inch off of the sizing to bring it down a tier in FBA fees, which increased the CM3 at the end of the day and really kind of helped her with stuff. So yeah, some really good innovation going on here and some cool product design, which is great to see.
And Matt, I just want to pick up on that point because I don't think people realize, alongside obviously all of our amazing members attending China Magic and China Magic attendees, we're also there with our own product design team and our own product sourcing team, sourcing all of our needs and working on our existing 700 SKUs in our catalog. What are you seeing across that work? So you mentioned Lois, you mentioned Rachel. These guys are our senior product directors in our brands. What's been happening on that side of the fence?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. We had 3 meetings with suppliers yesterday, and those girls are an absolute powerhouse. The ideas they have, looking at different fabrics, discussing, getting terms and bringing costs down. We even got to one supplier, I don't know if Lyden told you, and within 2 minutes he'd said, I saw that Lyden's lucky number was 7, so we're going to give you a 7% discount across all the products, which was fantastic to start with. Lyden then said, my lucky number's 30, so can we have a 30% discount? Pushed it a bit too far, but didn't quite work out. But yeah, Lois and Parv and Rachel were working on the packaging size, thickness, weight to really bring that CM1 down. And we sat working with at least 2 manufacturers for our Titan brands to bring down to increase that CM1 by reducing the COGS. So that was really good to see, and we made a saving of 20 cents on a $2.50 product straight away, which was good to see. But the suppliers are just so willing to work with us to reduce our costs to them. They're not just out there to penny pinch, and the girls know which buttons to press and what levers to pull in order to get these suppliers to help us where we want to be.
Yeah, and there's over. I mean, so we've got around 50 attendees on this China Magic trip right now. There's over 100 people in that room tonight. What's the level of networking and kind of sharing been like, and kind of some of the mastermind element of what's going on out there? How's that been?
Well, I've just had to walk away, Dan, because it's kind of spilling out of the room, as you can see here. So there's lots going on.
Hey, you guys.
I don't know why Lyden was stood by the desserts here. No surprise there, but yeah, we've got all these guys here working. But it's not just Titans. We've got members of other guys who have just come out to China off their own back, and you can see in the main room here, which you guys will remember from the last time you were here.
Oh my
all of these
God!
wonderful people
Hi
here.
guys, so much FOMO. Hi guys.
Awesome.
From all
Hey,
over the
man.
world. And yeah, we just did a guest panel as well with Stephen Selikoff and Jamie. And it was a really good one. Some good questions coming out there, and yeah, lots.
Yeah, awesome. I think the internet's gone a bit spotty there, so we'll let that reconnect. Georgie, you've just got back from China, right? So you were there on the first week of this trip. What were you observing? Obviously, we're hearing all the amazing kind of progress. It sounds like the fact the suppliers kind of in this post-pandemic era are really opening themselves up to the future of innovation and development. They want to work with us to make prices sustainable, give us the margin to be able to operate, make it a win-win. What have the questions been in the room like amongst our sellers? Kind of where's the conversation been, and what have you observed?
Look, as Matt said, even from last year, they are really, really willing to work with us. They're sort of expecting us to ask for terms even, and a lot more willing to give it sort of first order instead of waiting for subsequent orders. So a lot of the questions in the room, and the great thing about China Magic is we obviously have the content sessions every night. So we're catching up for 2-3 hours every night. We then go and network on the 70th floor after. Laptops come out. They have sort of one-on-ones with the leaders and mentors that are on the trip as well. And it's just that immediate feedback loop. So any of the issues that have come up in the day, addressing them as they come up so they can go in the next day and really action the advice that they've been given and come away with the best result. Yeah. So
amazing.
I don't know if that was your question.
Yeah, no, that's exactly, yeah. So Lyden, just as a bit of a closing point here before we move on and kind of chat a bit about what's coming up in October. What's the overall kind of, as I was just saying to Georgie just got back from being with you. I know Georgie came home a few days early. What's kind of the theme of conversation been amongst our sellers? And yeah, we're seeing these amazing payment terms. We're seeing better unit COGS, like pricing to give us more margin. We're seeing all this innovation coming through. But what's that all resulting in, and what's kind of the main conversation or theme of conversation been?
Yeah, so just I think for some of the people that haven't been to China before, and we can preach about it all the time, but and for these guys to understand that it really does speed up the growth of your business by being here on the ground. So like Jen was talking about, she's been trying to launch this product for a while, and she was able to get it done in about 30 minutes at the booth. She's also got 120-day terms and a cheaper price than what she had before. And just being able to progress the business that quickly live on the ground. But there's so many different wins here, and I've got some more guys here if you wanted to hear some from. Cool. All right, let's do. I know that we don't have a lot of time, but let's
Let's make sure we're.
Let's do a quick. Oh, sorry, I'm just tripping over gifts from suppliers on the floor. Sorry, Miko. Right, let's go around the ladies and see if we can get some quick fire wins in here. Yours won't be quick fire. You've had loads.
I have a list. That's the thing. I negotiated payment terms 10% below the price already, and I just placed my second order. So for me, it's a huge win already. Keeping stock of supplies also for my next orders because they're flying off the shelves already. Already sold 600 units, and it's only the third month for me since I launched. and sourced my product actually at China Magic last year. So came back to negotiate pricing, get new manufacturers so that I can also diversify.
So,
Nice.
so obviously we're just saying you were here in October with us, and you launched your product since then. How is that going, and what made you come back with China Magic rather than braving it by yourself?
Well, I feel like I still need the expertise, and I can only get that within the Titan network on China Magic. That for me is incredibly valuable. The only reason I was able to launch a very successful product is because I followed the Titan way and sourced with China Magic last year. So it's incredibly valuable.
Yeah,
I
you've
love
smashed it this week. So yeah, love hearing some of those wins. Thank you for sharing. Cool.
Love
All right,
that.
who else do we have?
Hi. All right. I just got back from the bullet train from Shantou. I've had like the freaking most amazing
The
last
bullet
3
train
days.
sounds fun. That sounds fun.
I went to, so I had 2 factory visits yesterday, and one of them was with my box supplier. And I did my presentation. So, with the help of all of our experts here, I put the presentation together. I was up late and I got it done. And then I pretty much nailed it at the box supplier and asked for better payment terms, and then also asked for better pricing. So, that was like a huge win. And then I left and got onto the train to Shantou to go meet the supplier that I met. And I came with a list of 25 products that I was trying to source. And she basically offered to help me source like half of them. So this product that I worked on last year, it took me 4 or 5 months. I actually lost money on it because things were late, and she's helping me get it together. Like we just literally did it today. So
Wow.
like she's also cutting costs for me. So I paid like a crazy amount of money last year, and I'm down from $40 on a $100 product to $15.
Wow.
So I mean, I could have never done that if I had to come here. And all of the leaders said, you have to get on that train. Like, you have to go. And so I figured out the train station and I made it happen. And
You smashed it.
I smashed it. And I'm so energized and I'm so pumped
Oh
right
my
Oh,
now.
I can
God.
feel Athena, I can feel the energy.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for
I
you.
know Athena's got FOMO. She wants to be here, I'm sure.
I'm dying. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. That's incredible. I mean, this trip, I think. Oh, do we have more people live? And then I wanted to talk more about it. Go ahead.
What's that, sorry?
Do you have more people for us?
I've got loads more people. You want to hear from more? Loads more.
How about
Yeah.
you?
You're
I'm so
gonna
proud of
you're
you.
gonna be
Listen.
shy, or you're gonna talk to us? Come on.
And like while we're jumping in here, while we're transitioning, I'd love. We're hearing a lot about asking for payment terms, asking for pricing, working on new products. I'd love for you to kind of outline just the depth of a framework that we're going into in China Magic, in how to ask, how to approach the ask, how to get the terms, and just any tips or main takeaways for everyone kind of listening into this call right now. Any advice for them approaching these asks and that innovation cycle as well? So in these wins, I'd love to understand kind of the how of the win as well.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'll dive into a few tips on that just before I've just grabbed hold of Olivia. So we're going to hear from her quickly, and then I'll dive into some of that. So
Sounds great.
explain how your trip's been so far and what you've managed to achieve over the last few days.
Well, I was actually going to comment. I thought the question was for me.
Oh yeah, maybe it was. So it's very
Yeah,
spotty
go on, I
internet.
want to hear your version. Yeah, go ahead. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lyden helped me put together a presentation, and we came up with the whole payment plan. We had some excess inventory with our supplier, so we thought we were coming on the back foot. But we had some quality control issues, so we actually came in and we dropped our product on the floor, and it shattered in the packaging. So we realized we had a ton of leverage, so I actually went in and edited our presentation on the fly, and we ended up getting 30-day payment terms. So we just learned that we should always state our leverage in those situations. So it's great.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice work.
Okay. Go,
So
girl.
as Olivia said there, it's all about creating the presentation and being able to present what they get in return. So it's all well and good saying, can I have cheaper pricing? Can I have better payment terms? But you've got to explain why and what the supplier gets as a benefit. It has to be a win-win situation. So. And something else that we've been doing is trying to develop the products further and bring down the sizes so they come down, shipping weights come down, bring the sizes down so the FBA sizes come down, and not just asking the supplier to reduce their profit margin, because these guys run on a small margin, they need to make money as well. But what we're trying to do is work with them to understand the process of creating the product, see where the wastage is, and see how we can innovate that product that we might have been working with for years, understand how it's made across the production line, and bring down the cost. So there's been a lot of conversations around that, not just saying, I need you to lower your profit margin, but how can we work together? How can we bring down the quality to or bring down the type of material you use without reducing quality to bring down costs and really work on that CM1, as we would call it.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Okay.
So,
Any last? I want a guide. Lyden has. It's all.
I
been
know
my
Xander's been waiting this whole time. I'm going to bring him in now, man. Here you go.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
hey, Xander.
How are you guys? How are things going over there?
Not as good as you, dude. I heard you've been
No,
smashing
definitely
it.
better here.
Yeah, so tell us, Xander, what have you experienced so far? What have you achieved? How have you achieved it? Any tips for sellers listening in on this and kind of considering visiting China with China Magic? We'd love to hear your story, dude.
Yeah, no, a ton of wins so far. Big one, I negotiated better payment terms with my current supplier. So it was 3070 originally and got it down, lower initial payment. I've also got a new product launch now. They showed me a product that they hadn't shown before, and I've already placed the order for that product. So I'm gonna get that rolled out, within the next month or so.
Do you think they would have shown that product?
No, definitely not this quickly. I mean, it was like, I'm right here. This is like the first time they've shown it. So, and this is kind of like a day's matter sort of thing. So getting a jump on this is huge. I found a new supplier, which I would not have found if I wasn't here at the Canton Fair. They have an extremely good product, really small factory, and I'm going to start working with them. They've also offered to do, exclusivity with me. That's been huge. And then another product that I was hoping to launch, I found it for half price here. So was originally going to source it for $3.20, found a supplier who could do it for $1.70 with better quality out here. So huge wins out here. It's been extremely good.
That sounds like a lot of dollars in the bank account in outcome. Sounds like you've created a lot of impact in the business right now in what is a very short amount of time, right?
Yeah, so I have a question for you, Xander. What would be the difference between you coming on your own versus coming with Kian, Lyden, Matt, and the rest of the network?
Lois, Rachel, and the whole team, right?
Oh yeah, no, the team has been excellent. I mean, I would have been completely overwhelmed. I'm only slightly overwhelmed, but just like a healthy amount. Just like everything that they've done to set everything up. I mean, Kirsty has been great in like organizing this entire trip. Yeah, the trip is just like so well run. And then just having content every night from Lyden, Kian. Lyden gave me so many pointers on my supplier presentation, which led me to get the better terms. So, it's been valuable, extremely valuable.
Love that.
Amazing. All right, guys. Well, we're going to let you rock on with the evening. I know you've got a night left
Do you want to
of
say goodbye to
networking.
Kian
Yeah.
before we go?
Yeah. There we go. Kian, tell you what, give us.
Luke.
I haven't said hello yet.
Hello, Luke. How can we miss you? Luke, tell you what. Luke, give me your.
Oh, I miss you all.
Georgie's left us. It's just the 4 boys left.
There you go. In the background, Luke, give us your main takeaway from the trip so far. For those kind of considering joining China Magic in October, what would be a piece of advice, a tip, a strategy? How should they think about the impact of this kind of 12 days in their business?
Well, you've heard from Jen and you've heard from loads of the other members or the guys that have come. They literally pay for their trip within about half a day. I mean, Jen paid for a trip in 10 minutes. She got like 10 grand or something off her immediately within 10 minutes. So 20 grand, sorry. So the amount of money that people are saving, like within such a short period of time, is just a no-brainer. So yeah, the trip pays for itself very, very quickly. The networking obviously is fantastic. It's a new country. You get to meet your suppliers that you wouldn't have ever met. You talk to them on email and WeChat. but when you come here and you speak to them, it's a different ball game, whole different world. So the deals that are coming out of this trip are, you know, every single one of them is going away thinking there's no way they're not going to come back again in 6-12 months time. So yeah, it's been great, and we've got a big phase now, phase 3. Lots of people have got huge amounts of things they want to do in phase 3. So yeah, looking forward to phase 3. It's going to be exciting.
Amazing. Well, Athena, I think we'll let the guys kind of carry on with the networking, finish out the evening, and we're going to now start talking about October's trip.
Stephen, say hello quickly, man.
There you go. There you go, Stephen.
We're live with Dan, Athena, and Georgie.
Oh, hey Dan, hi Athena, hi Georgie.
Hey, Stephen. So, Stephen, tell you what, we keep trying to keep going to transition, but let's get Stephen. Let's get your thoughts from the trip. You're extremely experienced in China. You spend weeks, if not months of the year kind of out there working with factories. You've got your own clients that you develop and source products for as well. What would be kind of your main takeaway from this trip? And what's a piece of advice for sellers kind of considering taking that next step and leveling up, which I believe is a non-negotiable in today's environment? What's your advice for those sellers?
Come to China. We were talking earlier.
Simple as that.
The suppliers are so hungry. I've never seen it like this before.
And how long have you been going, Stephen?
Seriously, just move it forward. Come to China.
And Stephen, you've been in
this
China.
guy right here.
Stephen, you've been in China for decades, right? We got a bit of a delay going on. Stephen, you've been in China for decades, right?
Guys, we might let you go and get back to our networking.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Do you know what, Athena? I think we'll transition. We got the best we were going to get out of Chinese internet there, so we'll go ahead and drop those guys out. Yeah, I think that was a success, right? Chinese internet, hotel, lots of people. We never know. Yeah, we never know whether these lives are going to work from the ground in China. As you could hear there at the end, there's a bit of a delay and stuff. But Athena, Georgie, lots of wins, lots of tangible, hard-hitting, high-impact wins, right?
Yes, and I want to just describe, like, after seeing that again, I mean, I literally have goosebumps, but the magic of China magic, it's very simple. When you go there and you're meeting with suppliers, you're basically fast forwarding your knowledge and your experience by at least a decade. And I've spoken to the actual suppliers themselves, and they're very picky on who they work with. They're spending a lot of money to be there at Canton. So they have all these different people coming through their booths. And if you have somebody, and it's very interesting, even people who are significant sellers, they will show up and they just don't understand the nuances. They don't understand the culture. They don't understand how to present themselves. And because of that, they could be a massive seller and they won't get as much attention as our guys do because they're right there by the side of Lyden and Luke and Kian and all these guys, and they have that presence, right? And so what I see and what's been happening is that because of the fact that they're amongst the China Magic people, they're gaining the confidence to act as if they'd already been going to China for 10, 20 years, right? And that's where you see those wins. And they're getting the guts to ask for things that they would have never asked for before. Like, I do not think that those guys would be asking for those terms. They'd be able to, you know, get exclusivity. And the thing is, even though they might go to China on their own, the difference between having that expertise and going on your own, it's like night and day.
And it's all in the setup and the approach, right? So it's not just about asking, it's about how you approach the preparation. Success is in the preparation with this stuff. It's the framework that we teach in China Magic in how you prepare presentations, how you prepare your forecast, your projections, how you approach the development process. We've got Lois and Rachel and Parv on the ground there, which are our team, our own in-house product development team from backgrounds like IKEA, Habitat, ASOS. These are serious institutions that have been buying and developing products out of China for generations. And because we're scaling up in our own brand activity, we're able to attract that talent and bring that talent on into China Magic, which the compound effect of all that experience and that knowledge coming together is huge. And I mean, in addition to the confidence and kind of, you're the product of your environment, right? So you put yourself in the right environment, surround yourself with the right people, you're going to achieve bigger results. But it's also just that you put a group of 50 entrepreneurs together who are all working towards the same goal, who all, I mean, two-thirds, three-quarters of that room are multi-seven-figure sellers that have all probably been to China on their own before, or maybe this is their first time, but they've been in the Amazon business for a number of years. They've been developing products. They've probably got a sourcing agent of some sort. But you think of the wealth of knowledge in that room. And then when you say, hey, guys, I'm thinking about this product, and we're very open and we take an abundance mindset in this. I'm thinking about this product, or, hey, if I could get these terms, it would unlock $1 million of cash flow in my business, which would allow me to be more aggressive in advertising, or it'd allow me to be more aggressive in my product pipeline. Or if I could just shave an inch off this packaging, or if I could shave 50 cents off this cost, how would you guys go about achieving that? And then you've got the input of what is the combination of hundreds of probably years of experience, if you combine that room, plus hundreds of millions, if not into the billions of dollars worth of revenue generated amongst that room. And I know what we've generated in our journey, and we make up a good few hundred million of that in that experience alone. And then you put all of that focus towards you, your product, your scenario, and then you back that with the energy of China Magic, and you surround yourself with those experts and put them in a booth alongside you, or take them to a factory and help you negotiate in that factory. The compound effect on the business, and most importantly, the reason we're all in this, the profit, the money, the dollars we put in the bank account. I think it's like a MasterCard advert, right? It's priceless. It's unmeasurable. And I think, I mean, we saw it in the earlier days with China Magic, and I think there's something very special going on right now. Not only has China Magic matured, where we're coming into our 10th trip in October, guys. China Magic 10, which is amazing. That means we've taken hundreds of sellers from all over the world out to China and helped them source and develop better products in China. But not only is China Magic maturing, our operations as Titan and China Magic, our own brand portfolio has got significantly larger, and we've figured out a lot more because we've been doing this almost a decade. We're able to attract more talent into that environment. Plus, you're now in a world post-pandemic where there's been a significant shift in the culture of China and suppliers. And you heard it from Stephen, who's been going there, 50 plus years. Lyden, Kian, it's his 26th fair. You hear it where the suppliers are so hungry to do business and to innovate and to work. And I think, Athena, there's an amazing kind of perfect storm happening right now on the ground, that in today's world on Amazon, which is hands down the most competitive it's ever been, whilst also having the most opportunity there's ever been. It's that competitive advantage that has gone from being a competitive advantage to what I believe today is really a non-negotiable. If you're serious about scale and growth and profit in this business of product development and using Amazon as a sales channel, then getting out to China twice a year, sitting with your factory, meeting new factories, and innovating with other like-minded sellers is a non-negotiable if you're serious about this game. And Athena, you speak to so many sellers about this on a daily basis. Yeah. You talk about taking this business seriously. What are your thoughts before we kind of move over and actually let everyone know what's happening in October, and a very, very special offer that we've got for October's trip?
Absolutely. And love to get Georgie's input on this as well. So guys, there's something very important for you to realize. There are many layers to understanding this business, right? So some people, like when they get started with Amazon, they're really scratching the surface of their knowledge of how to source properly, how to develop products properly, even in other areas, whether it's PPC or marketing or whatever. One thing you have to realize is there are many different layers to business. And if you don't continuously grow your knowledge, your experience, and your ability to kind of be more professional, then you will not actually win, right? So when it comes to China Magic, we've actually seen it progressing throughout these years, that there's different layers. And when I say layers, I mean the difference between somebody walking into a booth that doesn't understand the nuances and how to project all the things that we've been talking about, versus somebody that not only knows how to walk in, they know how to build a partnership. They know how to get in there, and they know how to actually become the #1 seller of that one product, right? And one of my favorite quotes in the whole world is, the most money you'll ever lose is the money you've never made. And so as a seller, if you want to really compete, you've got to have the pricing, you've got to have the profit, you've got to have the differentiated products, but then you're also going to find things that can be like a star product that you wouldn't even know existed if you weren't actually in the room. So I think one of the things that I like to do, especially, I talk to 8-figure sellers who still are having 30-70 terms, right? I talk to 8-figure sellers that have no idea how to properly develop products. I talk to 8-figure sellers that are still not making money because of the fact that they don't have products that are differentiated enough or premium enough that they can actually charge that premium. So one thing I want people to realize is whether you're an 8-figure seller or you're new to this game, product, sourcing, terms, all these things, this is your business. And I feel like the most important thing for you to understand is what they're doing over there in China Magic, and being around all those people and sucking in all of that knowledge at once will fast forward your business so many times over. It's such a no-brainer. If you want to sell on Amazon, you've got to be an expert. If you want to be an expert, get in the room with the people who are the experts and learn from them instead of taking the next 10, 20, 30 years to try to figure it out yourself. And that, my friends, is the magic of China Magic.
For sure. So on that note, Georgie, I'm going to transition and actually walk through kind of October's trip. And if you're listening to this and you see the value and you want to kind of accelerate the growth of your business and compound its growth and make it more profitable, like Athena said, we come across so many kind of high 7-figure sellers. I'm talking kind of north of 7, 8, 9 million, kind of tinkering up into that 8 figures, who just aren't profitable or just are struggling with cash flow. Or most of the sellers we really come across as well at that kind of $3 to $5 million range are hitting this scaling wall where they can't seem to scale past it. And the secret to scaling is fixing your payment terms so you have the cash flow to be able to develop and compound new products faster, because new products deliver new net revenue. But those new products have to be visually differentiated and developed with some sort of competitive advantage at a price that gives you the margin to be able to compete in advertising to acquire customers. If you could soundbite anything I say and cut back that last 10 seconds, that is this business. And how you do that is on the ground in China. But Georgie, while I transition here over to kind of the details about October, what's your kind of overall thought on what's happening right now in China Magic? And especially talking to, maybe we'll talk kind of guys starting out, going to China with China Magic, and our Titan Genesis program is a fast track, right? It's the way of cutting, as Athena says, you can take 5 years of learning and condense it. But for the bigger sellers, the 7-figure sellers that are thinking kind of, okay, I need to step up a level here, what's your message for them?
Yeah, look, I mean, I can sort of relate to it. When I first went to China, I went to China by myself, wandered around the fair, achieved a little bit, visited my current supplier, and that was about it. But then I met Athena, went on a China Magic trip, and within, I don't know, the space of 8 to 10 months, my business had 10x'd from what I learned on that trip. I was able to negotiate supplier terms off the back of Lyden's training that meant I could scale to 5 million annual revenue without having to get outside investment, which was huge because at the time we were nowhere near that, and looking for outside investment. So we were able to bypass that. So just, it's all about building that relationship with your suppliers, and it's so important. They're so key to your business. It's 100% worth getting on a plane, getting over there, meeting with them, but being really prepared to do so, not just turning up without having any presentation or any objective that you want to achieve from your trip. And that's where China Magic is so helpful, because there's all the pre-event training. We obviously have for our Titan members as well, all the Titan way of training. And then we've got the support network. So all of those people that you spoke to just before on the lives, they were probably only a handful of their wins. They had more wins than what they shared with you. But they all had the support of the leaders. They took Lyden back to the booths with them, Kian to the booths with them, to really sort of solidify that relationship with those suppliers and make sure that they achieved their objectives, which were lower COGS, better supplier terms, and that sort of stuff.
Georgie, so Georgie had a wedding. I met her in Austin, Texas at an event, and I was like, come to China. And she's like, I can't, I've got this wedding. She ended up missing like half of China Magic, but I convinced her to come anyway. And if it wasn't for just taking that leap and actually going, I mean, so many things have happened because of it. So I think it's also a testament to just doing it. You know, when there's something that's going to help your business, you just jump in. And I'm so grateful because Georgie is now, I mean, you've done so much thanks to China
And
Magic.
you just come back from being a mentor, right? You're missing it. You left a few days early. Are you wishing you were back in China?
I did, and I love phase 3 as well. So I'm so excited. Like the wins coming out are so incredible. I think we had an attendee there, Susie, that stood up and said, "I've literally done 6 months' work in half a day in China."
Well, on that note, I'm going to move over to the details for October, and this is how you can join us on the upcoming China Magic trip in October, which is China Magic 10. This is our 10th trip, which is our amazing. But I think all of this to say, what you've learned and what you've discovered in the last 45 minutes or so is that, especially in today's market, success on Amazon is won or lost in the buying. It's not in the selling. You don't get the buying right. You don't buy at the right price. You don't develop visually differentiated products. You don't get the right payment terms to give you the cash flow to actually compound the growth of that product on future orders and be aggressive in areas like advertising. It all comes back to the buying. You do all of that correctly, the selling is easy. You get the buying wrong, it doesn't matter how good you are at the selling, you will struggle to be successful on Amazon in today's market as the margins get compressed and it really has become a precision sport. But if you follow a proven framework, a framework that is proven, precise, predictable, and repeatable, that framework has the ability to generate tens of millions of dollars in revenue and millions of dollars in profit with what is quite a simple step-by-step formula that you just have to commit to taking action towards. So if you hear all this and October is something you're interested in, Athena, we have something very, very special for everyone. Now, we've talked about, we continue to talk about going to China, go to China. China is where you win. And there really are 3 levels to product sourcing, right? Level 1 is online. You've got Alibaba.com. You've got some other alternative marketplaces as well. But I think what you're seeing here is if you're competing online and you're trying to source products via direct messages and broken English online, and you think that you're going to be able to achieve the pricing and payment terms and the level of quality and depth in the product differentiation and development that you need to win on Amazon, this is the mistake that I see so many sellers making. So level 1 is online. Level 2 is visiting trade shows. And level 3 is visiting your factory. So trade shows, great place to meet new suppliers, find new products, connect with reps from your existing suppliers. And then factories is like level 3, like that's like you've made it when you're visiting your factories, not only discussing existing kind of challenges and opportunities and making that win-win that Lyden talked about, but also asking them what's coming in product trends, what colors are on trend right now, what materials have you got coming through, that what's this big brand doing, and really kind of get into that depth. It's really between level 2 and level 3 that you really win. And the key thing about that is to do this, you have to go to China. Now, Athena, we were talking about going to China. That's one part of it. And then there's going to China with all of the experience in the room. And in October, on October 23rd through November 3rd, we are running China Magic 10, which is our 10th trip. So this is a trip over to the Canton Fair in China. The Canton Fair is the largest product fair in the world. I mean, Athena, if you're going to kind of trying to describe the size of this thing, it's 30,000 steps a day, right? You know, when you count it on your watch.
Yeah. You can't even get to the end of it. It is like an ocean. It's incredible.
It's amazing. Now, there's 3 phases. There's now 4 halls, A, B, C, and D. D is the new hall that was added recently. There's over 26,000 suppliers in attendance. There's millions of products on display over there. And this thing is huge. I mean, it's just like these huge kind of exhibition halls, one after another. The halls are kind of well organized. The suppliers are all kind of well presented. Today, in today's world, all of them have English speaking representation on the booths. It's not like it was, Athena, when you first went all those years ago now, where it was we had to take translators with us. It's really leveled up, right, in terms of the presentation. And 100%. You can, in real time, you're able to not only, like I said, do your research ahead of time, prepare your product pipeline, and this is all the stuff that we train in the China Magic training calls leading up to the event over the next 6 months, but then also discover new products or take existing products that you want to find new suppliers for to achieve those better terms, and do all of that in real time. Athena, here was you on one of the more recent trips. I think we were in the toys and games section. I know it's a section you like to hang out in. But yeah, maybe just quickly describe kind of what it's like walking around this, because it's kind of like going into a massive mall, and then you've got to stay focused and you've got to go there with your plan, right?
I mean, that's why, to be fair, the reason we call it China Magic is because I used to say that all you need is one magic booth to completely change your life. Like, it's that one product away, you know what I mean? So like, you're walking through and you just have no idea what kind of thing they're going to have, right? Like, you find these products, and I'll give you an example, like those oval makeup brushes that became such a huge hit, that originated from a factory who decided, you know what, let me change this thing up. That one product, if you're the first to market, my God, that's literally a life-changing experience. And so that's why walking around this thing, it's this very unique feeling of like, you don't know what you're going to find. You don't know what brand you might want to decide to do. When I went to China my first time, I actually found a whole different brand of products that I wanted to do that I would have never even thought of doing. So every single booth, you're going to meet unique suppliers that can create things that you haven't even thought existed, or things that you already have existing. And I have so many crazy wins. I mean, this is China Magic 10 coming up. China Magic 1, I had some people on that trip that had already hit, 7 figures. And because of renegotiating, because of the products that they found, fast forward years later, one of them sold their business for $85 million. Another one of them is one of the top 100 sellers in kitchen, right? Like, some of the products, he found his number one product in a booth there that he hadn't thought of doing. He is the number one milk frother on Amazon. And he pointed it at his massive house and the second house that's next to it for his parents. He pointed that to me and he said, China Magic milk frother. I said, you're welcome. So it's just, you never know what you're going to find.
And I think on that point, if you're a 7-figure seller, and when we talk about 7 figures, we're talking about kind of 1+ million, 2 million, 3 million a year in annual revenue, 5, 10, up to 10 million in annual revenue, and doing any significant volume, as in you're selling a decent number of units of given SKUs, the ability to turn this trip into 6 figures of profit very, very quickly is unlike anything else in the game. I always, when people ask me about China Magic Athena, they always ask me what it is. And I always say it's the ultimate shortcut. It's the only real shortcut in this business, is going to China and executing everything we teach in China Magic in these factories. It's unlike the hacks and stuff that you get on Amazon that kind of might save you a few dollars on PPC, or hack your way on rank, and then you get a TOS complaint and it's gone away in a few months. China Magic's framework in the Canton Fair, going to China, is truly the only shortcut in this business that delivers hundreds of thousands of dollars in real dollars in your bank account, real profit, if not millions, over the course of the next couple years. And just like Xander, you heard there talking, I know the numbers there, and that's a 6-figure result that he's generated in that one conversation, because he hasn't got to create anything new. All he's done is taken his existing product and optimized its margin, optimized its quality, optimized its price. And as a result, that's 6 figures in his bank account this year from the existing volume he already sells, paying for the trip and the 2 weeks of time. I mean, 10 times over in that timeline. So guys, we are heading out to China in October with our China Magic 10 trip. Every single night, one thing we didn't really touch on is the guys are in China for 12 days, right? So the daytime is sourcing and visiting the fair, and then going to the factories in the break, which we'll talk about. And then every single night coming back to a room to mastermind and go through content. So brand new innovative kind of frameworks that are coming out of our operating in Titan with our multiple 8 figures of revenue on Amazon. And then also kind of bringing back samples and masterminding with other attendees in the room, asking people like Kian and Lois and Rachel and Parv and Luke and Lyden and Stephen for their input and thoughts towards something you're trying to achieve. And the momentum at which you're able to move, plus the wider conversation that's going on. Because yes, it's 80% focused towards product development sourcing, but we're talking about PPC, we're talking about launching, we're talking about content, we're talking about the entire business, we're talking about team building, how to build a product research pipeline so that you can launch 150 products a year. That's something we did last year. All of this conversation is happening in the room every single night. So I really do see it as the perfect place to be for a seller. You can take action in real time in the day, affect your business in real time, in real hard-hitting, needle-moving deals, and then come back on the evening and mastermind at a depth far greater than any other mastermind environment in this industry, because the stuff you're masterminding, you can actually do the next day with your factory. And I think it's that kind of compound effect that takes place that makes China Magic really, really unique. So let's quickly kind of touch on this, and I want to get to the details of when the trip is and the very special offer that we've got for everyone here that's only available through to Monday the 6th of May. So next Monday, if you're watching this live, Monday the 6th of May, this is only available until then. So definitely stick around for the next 10 minutes or so while we just kind of recap this out. So phase 2 is building decoration materials, bathroom equipment, furniture, kitchen and tableware, home products. There's gifts and premiums, amazing subjective products in there for my Titans. You know what I mean by subjective product. You got home decorations, garden supplies, you've got spa facilities, and then moving into phase 3, which is the phase that our guys right now are heading into today. You've got personal care, beauty, you've got toys. Again, amazing category for those subjective products. You got sports and clothing. You got office supplies. We know we've got an 8-figure seller in Titan that does very well in office supplies. You got bags and travel and suitcases. And so we visit phase 2 and phase 3. There is a phase 1 that's more electronic focused. And if that's more your category, we can also help you arrange to kind of head out there early. And if you need translators and stuff on the ground, or you need transport arranging, all of our guys, we've got local partners on the ground there that can help take care of it. But for 90% of sellers, phase 2 and phase 3 is where the bulk of your products will be. And ahead of the trip, we do a lot of pre-event training so that you make sure you show up on day 1 of China Magic ready to go to work, because you've already done the preparation that's going to make you successful. You already know what products you're looking for. You already know what price terms you need. You already know what pricing you're trying to achieve on existing products. Now, this is a loose schedule. This is subject to change, but this is a loose schedule of what to expect. So as you can see, the trip is 12 days. Day 1 is checking in. You go and register for your badge at the Canton Fair, which allows you into the complex. And you'll get an orientation. We'll take you around the fair, kind of give you the lay of the land so you understand how to navigate it and where you should focus your attention. Again, we're going there very intentionally with a plan. We're then spending the next 3 or 4 days, as you can see, kind of 3.5 days, navigating the fair in the day, looking for new products, meeting existing suppliers, kind of developing out like Miko was able to do in like 3 days, right? She was able to find a supplier, develop the product, get the terms, place the order, all in that amount of time. And then you're coming back on the evenings into the evening mastermind content session. So as I just talked about, spending a few hours on the evening, talking and masterminding on what you've achieved in that day, plus learning new content. And we always make sure that we come through strong with kind of groundbreaking strategy that we're developing and we're testing in our brands. And then between day 5 and day 9, there's actually a 3-day break. And that's the break between phase 2 and phase 3. And this is where you're going to visit your factories. So you're going to arrange ahead of time to go visit your existing factories. You're going to go out for dinner. You're going to eat some Chinese food. It might be your bag. It might not be. You just kind of do it to build the relationship. And that's where you're really going to be putting the work in on your presentations, your projections, and working towards those better payment terms. Again, payment terms equals cash flow, more cash in the business, faster growth. If anyone sat here listening thinking, well, the one thing that holds me back is cash, payment terms in China are how you solve that without taking on credit. And even when you do leverage finance, which is not a bad thing, providing you have a plan, these businesses can only achieve around 10% of trailing 12-month revenue in the form of debt, which again, it has a cap in its own right. The uncapped capital that you can access is the relationship with your factory and the payment terms in which you can achieve. And that's done in those 3 days. And no matter where your factory is, we will help you get there. Plane, train, automobile, however it needs to happen, we will make sure that you get there and you are fully prepared and go into that meeting very confident, knowing exactly how to negotiate what it is you need to negotiate to further progress your business, your relationship with the supplier, and ultimately make that win-win. And then the last 4 days, day 9 through day 12, are visiting phase 3 of the Canton Fair. And even though you might think, well, all my products are in phase 2, I don't need to be in phase 3. One thing, Athena, that I've seen definitely in the more mature sellers that have kind of got that kind of more established brand, maybe into a few $1 million, is the ability under the same brand to start an entire new product line because it serves that avatar that they already serve. It serves that ideal customer that they're already selling to. 100%. Now, as I said, this is the only shortcut to success on Amazon. I've been doing this almost 10 years now. I've helped a lot of sellers, as has Athena, and we own and operate. And the operational part is there's a lot of people that own brands, but we own and operate multiple 8 figures in brands and revenue on Amazon today. And this is hands down the only shortcut to driving that competitive advantage and beating out the competition and winning on Amazon. So much so that Athena and I invest in sending an entire team of people out there twice a year. In addition to China Magic, we've also got our entire product sourcing and development team on the ground in China right now, visiting the fair, visiting factories, because we know that every dollar that we spend on sending our team out to China comes back tenfold. And if I said to you, for every dollar you put in a cash machine, you're going to get $10 back, how many dollars would you put in that cash machine, Athena?
All of them.
All of them. There you go. So yeah, China Magic, and not to mention, Athena, maybe you talk about this point before we get on to kind of the offer here. Just the relationships, right? And the like-minded sellers and the state of being and the product of your environment, right?
Yeah. So first of all, if you were to try to hire someone of Kian's magnitude or someone like Lyden, like they're not really for hire. Matt Phipps, for example, has had a multi 7-figure exit with only 5 SKUs. The guy is an absolute genius at being able to pull off these $1 million SKUs. He went again. He has a new brand. He got one of them already to $1 million. So like the amount of expertise within the mentors is incredible. But here's another part of it. The culture that we've created within China Magic is that of giving and lifting each other up. There's people in that audience right now that are branding experts. Miko is a beauty expert. She's been in Korean beauty care for many, many years and worked with some of the best brands in the entire world. So let's say you're in the beauty category and you had some ideas or you want to kind of talk to someone about it. You literally have Miko sitting next to you being able to kind of input, right? And then you have this, there's another gentleman in there who's like a fitness wizard who actually works out models and things like that. And so if you're in the fitness category, you could be like, hey, Sean, come over. I had a couple questions for you. So it's not just the mentorship. It's not just the content. It really is the people in the room. And together, everyone really is stronger. That is the motto of Titan. And it is through everything that we do. So China Magic really isn't just the mentors. It's the people. It's a combination of all of it. And then on top of it, being that this is our 9th, almost 10th trip, we've brought this to an art and a science. We know how to get you in there and how to rapidly get you to a place where you've been basically sourcing for like 10 or 20 years within probably the first hour or two. So you're just going to fast forward. What I've seen other people do is they go to Canton and by maybe day 8, 9 or whatever, they're finally getting the hang of how to interact with suppliers. We have that going from the first minute you guys hit the ground. So there's just so many little factors that you never know who you're going to meet, what supplier, what product, who's going to be in the room. And then having that one-on-one time with someone like Kian. I'll give you an example, Dan. Moshe, you know Moshe. He was doing, I think, I don't know, almost 9 figures. He was doing like 70 million or something crazy. Super wizard of a guy. He was sitting there with Kian, and Kian was taking apart and putting together his backpack that he was selling, right? And he found some ideas with some zippers and things. He was able to add an extra $30 per item in terms of value just by altering a couple things that cost him about 45 cents. So there's things like that that you just can't put a price tag in. You can't predict it, but it really truly is the magic of China.
For sure. So with China Magic, here's what you're getting. It says 8 days. It's 8 days of expert sourcing. So you've got the 2 phases, 4 days at each, $3,000 in value, 12 days of real-time masterminding. So every single night and in the day, you've got help there in the day as well. Masterminding on the business, on the product development, on how to achieve certain terms and pricing. And every single deal that you're able to achieve there in China is real dollars put back into your business. It's real profit. And that ultimately means more money for growth and more money for your pocket, as well as being surrounded with some of the best minds on PPC and product development and listing and creative. Like Luke there is actually our internal kind of head of split testing, Luke Knight. Absolutely phenomenal at increasing listing conversion, which we all know what that does. So yes, you surround yourself with those types of people for 12 days, as well as just meeting like-minded people. There's a member in Titan, Kushbu, who's an Apple product developer. I had no idea that she was an Apple product designer, and she's been with Apple for many years. And I was like, holy crap, it just continually reminds me of just the amazing talent and that law of attraction of what having a community like China Magic and Titan does. So $10,000 of the mastermind there. Plan factory visits to your own factories, like I said, will help you plan the visit, strategize the visit, and ensure that you come away with that target result that's going to move the needle in your business. $500 of value. We've got the pre-trip coaching and visa concierge. There is a visa process here. You have to have a visa to visit China. We've been through this process many times, and we will white glove you through that, ensuring that everything goes smoothly and that you're able to obtain that visa. $500 of value. And then in addition to this, we're also going to be giving access to our advanced training library. So we have our Titan Genesis program, which is focused on modern day, kind of the new way of doing product design and development for Amazon, not the buying and badging stuff off Alibaba. That whole private label thing, that kind of approach, that's dead. We're very much into bespoke innovation, product design, product development. We're going to give you access to that training. We're going to give you access to supply negotiation training. We're going to give you access to all of the frameworks that we actually implement in our business every day and are delivering the results that you've heard here live on the call. And then there's also a private members area and Facebook group where you're going to be given access in the next 6 months up to October of 2024 this year. You'll be added to that group and you'll be surrounded by others going on the trip. So you'll get to know your fellow China Magic attendees even before heading out to China, and the wins that you can achieve before you even step foot on the ground in China can pay for this trip 10 times owner. All you've got to do is just apply yourself to the frameworks that you get access to. And for me, that part is priceless, because that knowledge applied correctly, knowledge only is effective when it's applied, and that knowledge applied correctly and executed can pay for itself over and over and over again for the next 3, 5, 10 years, however long you're in this business. So the total value of China Magic is $15,000, but China Magic is priced at $6,000, just $6,000. Now, we do have an early bird special running, which is $1,000 discount, meaning making China Magic $5,000 for the first 20 attendees, for the first 20. And as you can see, this trip that's over there right now, China Magic 9, we had 50 spots. We filled all 50 spots. We're back up to full capacity after the pandemic. And we are now selling out 100% of the trip each time. So these spots will go, and we are limiting China Magic 10 to 50 spots because of our contracts and the capacity with the hotel and all the facilitation and coordination that goes on there. It is limited to 50 spots. But for those of you that are live here today and through to the 6th of May, Monday the 6th of May, which is just the next few days, Athena and I had a chat, and we've got a very special offer for you because you guys are the action takers. You guys are the ones that have shown up, watched this, and you are the ones that are serious about taking action in your business and achieving the same results that you've heard the stories of so many of our sellers and our Titan members that are currently live right now in China. And here's a photo of everyone on the trip from this week. So that there in the background is a very iconic building in Guangzhou. So all these guys...
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lag, I think. So all these guys here are live, kind of walking that path that you're considering walking, and you've heard and seen the results of taking that leap of faith and stepping into China Magic here with us in October. And there's so many good memories as we look back, and you'll probably see some pretty well-known faces here from the industry that have all been part of China Magic in previous years. And the best thing about this as well is, whilst this is certainly not tax advice, I am told it is a tax write-off, especially in the US. So something to consider in your business. Athena, we stay at the amazing, very comfortable Four Seasons Hotel. It's gorgeous, right? And the food's great. And it's kind of the place where you make sure you eat there in the breakfast, you take some lunch, you don't really want to eat at the fair. You come back and have a lovely, but yeah, maybe just talk to that a little bit.
Yes, the hotel is absolutely stunning. And one thing to know is sometimes if you have meetings with your suppliers and they ask you like where to send their samples or where they're going to meet with you, when you say you're at the Four Seasons, that prestige actually goes a very long way with the suppliers as well. But we want you guys to feel amazing, to have the great food. And so we really do
food's
take
a
care
big bit, right? The food's a big part of it, right?
Yeah, because if you go to any of these Western hotels, for whatever reason, they charge a tremendous amount of money for food. So we actually include it in the hotel contract. You have an amazing breakfast. You can take some stuff away to the fair. And then we have a dinner with drinks and coffees and desserts and the whole thing in the evenings. And this is the most beautiful hotel in the entirety of Guangzhou. It is stunning and everyone just loves it so much.
And you only have to eat once at the fair to realize that you don't eat at the fair, right?
Yeah, don't even try it. I tell my guys, like, if they want to do something adventurous, do it at the end of the trip so that you're not having issues throughout the trip. And so, the head chef of this place is Italian. They import food from other places just to really take great care of you. So it's a fantastic, fantastic location.
Yeah, it was actually voted, the Four Seasons Guangzhou was actually voted the best business hotel of the year worldwide a number of years in a row. It's known as the Hotel in the Clouds because the lobby starts on the 80th floor above the financial building. It's such a cool building. So guys, total investment. I want to walk through kind of what this looks like. So China Magic is $6,000. There is 20 early bird spots available at $5,000. And for those of you that are here watching this right now, stick around because we have a very, very special offer for you. And then in addition to this, you need around $200 for your visa. It's around $200 US to sort your visa out. Flights, depending on where you're flying from, are going to run around $1,000 to $1,500. I checked this morning, and from LA, it's currently coming in at about $900. From the UK, it's coming in at £700. So it's currently around that kind of $1,000 point right now if you get booked early, and that's a return flight into Guangzhou. You're staying in a 5-star hotel, the Four Seasons. That runs $250 a night when you're sharing with another China Magic attendee. Now, if you're coming with a fellow friend in the industry, a fellow seller, or you want to bring your partner or your business partner, then obviously you can arrange that yourself. Or if when you come through into China Magic, you'll complete a short survey, and Kirsty and Vanessa will help get you coordinated with a like-minded seller that you feel comfortable sharing with. And Athena and Kirsty and Vanessa have this down to an art. It's not only our China Magic trips, it's our Titan member trips, it's our masterminds. I mean, at this point, we're into 50 plus international events. We kind of know what we're doing with this, so you'll be completely comfortable. And Athena, you and the team are really good, and with Kirsty at kind of matching personalities and making sure everyone's a good fit, right?
Oh yeah, the amount of best friends that have been developed from this roommate thing is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, and what it does is it makes it so that you're paying the price of going to like a 3-star hotel and you're staying at the Four Seasons. So it's fantastic.
Amazing. And then, as Athena said, as part of the hotel contract, included in the 250, and that's kind of subject to changes. There might be a little bit of variance with tax and stuff, but around 250 a night. It includes the food as well, so you get a full buffet breakfast, 5-star buffet breakfast. You can take some of that away to the fair in the day for lunch, take some light snacks with you, and then on the evening there's a full meal with drinks provided, all inclusive. So the only other food or incidentals that you're really going to have to cover on the trip is if you buy anything outside the hotel, because breakfast and dinner are included as part of the hotel fee. Now, as I said, Athena, kind of getting to the point, for those of you that are serious about taking this action in your business and you see the benefit of being in China, we're so confident in this, like coming into our 10th trip, we have hundreds of success stories at this point. Not only we send our own team twice a year, that we know that you apply this, you take action on this, you do the work ahead of time and show it prepared. There is no way that this doesn't generate a significant return for you. We want to incentivize you guys to really commit to that future and commit to kind of taking that trip with us in October, joining China Magic, visiting the Canton Fair, visiting your factories. That you're not paying $6,000. You're not going to pay the $5,000 for the next 4 or 5 days only through to Monday, the 6th of May. You can access and secure your spot on China Magic for $4,000. Now, this is a $2,000 saving on the price of China Magic. That not only covers your flight, it covers it covers the hotel. It really does kind of that saving, that $2,000 covers all of those extra expenses to get going on the trip. To make this a complete no-brainer for you. Now, we can only do this for a limited number of spots. This trip is an extremely expensive trip to facilitate and make sure we take care of everything and get everyone we need out there to get you the results. So the offer ends on Monday, the 6th of May. Today is Tuesday, the 30th of April, meaning that this is available for the next 5 or 6 days, and then the $4,000 price point will be removed. Now, to do this, you have to schedule a team, and we just want to make sure that it's a good fit for you, that it aligns with your goals, and we want to make sure that China Magic is right for you. So to go ahead and request and schedule that call, you need to go to chinamagictrip.com/apply. Now, don't stress if you get a call slot that is later than Monday the 6th, providing that call is scheduled prior to the end of Monday, the 6th of May. We will still honor this, and our team will take you through getting secured on the trip at $4,000. And that's an incentive for you guys, for those that are serious about either growing your existing business. For those who are newer to the business, we'll talk about that here in a second in Q&A. And we know that you go out on this trip, and as you've heard from all the success stories at the start of this call, the ability to turn that into a significant return on investment, and the experience and knowledge that you gain that are then going to compound the longer you're in this business into the future, in an environment that is getting more competitive, yet the opportunity is bigger than it's ever been. That $4,000 incentive is there for you, but it is only available until Monday, the 6th of May. And we may have to cut it off early. We've got a wait list for October already. This is the announcement of the opening and the price on this fast action bonus. And if we see that those 20 spots get filled up, we will cut the access early. So this is first come, first serve. And you guys need to jump on to ChinaMagicTrip.com/apply to participate. And with that, understanding that cash flow drives this business, we do have a 3-month payment plan available as well. So on the call, we have a 3-month payment plan available, which is it'll run you $1,467 for 3 months, meaning you can secure your spot on China Magic 10 in October this year, 2024, for a payment of $1,467 today, ahead of 2 more payments of the same fee. So head over to ChinaMagicTrip.com/apply. There's a 2,000 super early bird discount available for grabs. The offer ends Monday, the 6th of May, and we will close it out if we get that 20 coming in, which I anticipate we will do very quickly off the back of this. This will be emailed out as well to everyone who registered here in the next few hours. So if you're live watching this, make sure you take advantage of this right now, because as soon as it goes out on the email list, I have no doubt that this will be snapped up. And that is it here today, Athena. Now, one last point because I want to jump off and respect time here. One last point is for any of you that are considering starting this journey. Maybe you've kind of taken some training. Maybe you're in our Genesis program. You haven't yet ordered a product. China Magic is geared and is set up for existing sellers with a live product on Amazon. However, if you commit to completing our Genesis training and have an order ready, product pipeline ready to go, and you prove that to us, you are welcome to join on China Magic. But you must do the work ahead of the trip. You must spend the next 6 months doubling down, doing the product research, validating products like Miko talked about, and show up with a product pipeline that you're ready to go and source, and you're ready to go and order, and you understand what that means. This is open to you, and we will allow you to join the trip. Athena, any closing thoughts on that?
Just guys, I believe so much in the power of the collective contribution of what's happening on these trips. And if you want to build a significant business, and the reason we're building these businesses is to have life freedom and be able to have the finance and the location and all the things that we want to be able to have, this is the way to get that. And it doesn't matter where you're at with your business, like just being in the fair, seeing the products, going to the factories, talking to the people, it really will fast forward your progress, what would normally take sometimes years, in a matter of days. And so I'm just really excited to have you guys on China Magic 10. And it's going to be, again, it's going to be magic. So thanks so much, Dan, for all this. And thanks to all of our amazing mentors and all of our amazing team and everyone behind the scenes. Kirsty, who just does such a great job getting everyone their visa and taking such great care of them. This has been a dream come true. The legacy continues. And I can't wait to see even more wins in October.
For sure. And as a closing point, any questions, there are no stupid questions. We'll cover all of those questions on your call. So go to ChinaMagicTrip.com/apply. Get that scheduled now. Be first. Take that first mover advantage. Secure a spot on China Magic 10 for $4,000 instead of $6,000. Do that today. And any questions you've got, whether this is right for you, our team and Athena will make sure that you get all of your questions answered. We've got to make sure this is right for you. We want to make sure that China Magic delivers the success, because we only want sellers joining China Magic who can take real action in real time and generate the results that we've talked about, so that the impact of China Magic continues. So we're not interested in just putting everyone on the trip. So jump on ChinaMagicTrip.com/apply. We'll have a conversation, make sure it's a good win-win setup. We'll get you booked on if it is. And yeah, we'll start working over the next few months towards China Magic in October. But for everyone else, I will see you very soon here in China Magic with all the results coming through. Thanks, Athena.
Thank you, Dan. Bye.